Hello, I'm Adam Williams, Partner and Head of Immigration at DMH Stallard. DMH Stallard is recognised by legal directories as one of the leading practices advising on both private and corporate immigration. In this brief video, I'm going to talk to you about the different work sponsorship routes that you might use if you become a sponsor of work visas under the UK system. Now, there are various different routes that you might be able to apply for and then use, and they depend really in terms of suitability on the type of employer you are and the type of role and worker you're looking to sponsor. The first route I wanted to cover, and the one that's by far the most common, will be the skilled worker route. It used to be called Tier 2 General. Now that's a route for roles that are skilled at A level, technically called RQF level 3 or above, for someone to come to the UK to work, potentially with a view to settlement in the UK after 5 years. There are minimum pay requirements, typically at least around £25,000, and there is a requirement to have a certain standard of English language for the individual worker as well. Now, the skilled worker route is particularly useful if you're looking to bring people to the UK on a long-term basis, because as I said, it can be a route after 5 years to settlement. Other routes are available though, although less commonly used, including now, since April 2022, an expanded route called Global Business Mobility, which encapsulates a variety of different sub-routes where there's a link between your UK operations and an operation overseas. And without going into the detail of each of those sub-routes, they include things like secondment workers moving on a high-value contract from an employer overseas to the UK, UK expansion, where someone's coming along either individually or with others to expand your UK presence, senior or specialist worker, where you've got a higher value, higher paid individual who is employed by one of your commonly owned entities abroad and needs to move between the UK and foreign operations. And we also have a graduate route in which individuals who've recently put onto a graduate scheme can move between your entities here and abroad. And finally, a service and supplier route, where you might actually be sponsoring someone who actually is employed by a supplier or service provider to you and who needs to come to the UK to deliver on a contract. So there's various different routes there. Finally, I wanted to touch on the sports person and creative routes, which are also not that often used, but could be particularly important if you are looking to sponsor someone who is a professional sports person or artist. It's a temporary route for short-term work in the UK, which you can sponsor visa applications for, but on occasion you don't even need the individual to apply for a visa, and simply the process of issuing them with a certificate of sponsorship, which is a unique reference number, will be enough for them to gain entry to the UK for work, either as a professional artist or sports person. So lots of different routes that could be applied for as a sponsor, and clearly the important thing is to understand all those options, work out which ones work for you, don't apply for those which are of no relevance or importance, and if you're looking at doing that, do get in touch with the team so we can talk through your options and make sure you've got the right set of routes.